We want to look at the dailies today, and of course the biggest discussion is what happens next. After the strike by matatu operators and public sector transport operators yesterday, what happens next? Where does the discussion move to? Because the fuel prices were not reduced any further, even as they called off the strike. For this conversation this morning, we're privileged to have Dr. Peter Mbae, who is the Secretary Planning and Economic Affairs at DCP. Karibu sana, Dr. Mbae. Daniel Orogo, political analyst, joins us as well. Karibu sana, Orogo.
Pleasure.
And we also have Alexander Riithi, who's the head of programs at TISA. And TISA is, let me get it right, the Institute for Social Accountability. He's an economist by trade. Karibu sana, Alexander.
Thank you for having me.
If you look at the Daily Nations now, the Daily Nation, it focuses on the other taxation after fuel has landed in Kenya. And they've broken down this very well. They say landed cost of a litre of petrol is 117. But by the time it gets to the pump, it is 214 shillings. So about 96 shillings in between. Yeah, of course, everyone understands that geopolitics, US-Israel war on Iran definitely has played a part in the skyrocketing fuel prices. But it is this 96 shillings that Kenyans are concerned with. They're saying, okay, fine, 96 shillings? Definitely you can do something. Why do you feel that there's a lot of reluctance from the government side to cede ground? Because they keep on saying, okay, fine, we appear to be in a corner, we can't move any further.
Thanks so much, Fred. First of all, our condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones, who are shot dead by police. Again, a very bad issue where police always have to kill someone. Others who are in hospital, many people with gunshot wounds. And of course, many young people also who were arrested, some of them innocent, out of all these places across the country. Having said that, Fred, I want to believe and hope that, as per what was agreed yesterday, there will be no hike in fares, because the transport industry took the lead in this protest. The United Opposition was not in it, but we were supporting it. It's good to go on record. But then, for the 7 days they asked for, we hope there will be no increase in fares. Doesn't mean that only those people who are using public transport are affected. Everybody is affected by the hikes. But we said, since they are taking the lead, let's give them that balance of time. Of course, we are coming there because going forward, I think, Fred, what we have discovered will not allow just one sector to be in charge of all these kind of, if it's a protest. It has to be multi. Let's get everybody on board, Gen Zs, the opposition, everybody, so that there will be no one people who will be called for negotiations. Because it's not a one sector thing. Fuel affects everybody. Actually, all the motorists. I mean, everybody. Then it goes back to the increase of prices. So it is everything. So one thing we have learned very quickly, we will not allow a few people, to be called, and then they say, we are done. It's a whole economy thing. So we are looking forward towards next week. We are consulting as the United Opposition so that it can be everybody thing. It's not a one sector. Whereby
so we should anticipate more probably street protests.
I can tell you, Fred, if we allow this thing to pass, this government wants to fatigue people, right? So if we allow this, and because they're the ones who asked for 7 days, what I can tell you here is that we have seen the president is back on Thursday. It's okay. We elected him. Friday he does a cabinet meeting. He meets these people. We are going to see whether the deal has been met. And it's very clear, like you have said, the figures we have given them. They keep asking, what are your alternative, policies we are giving? It's very clear. And we said, remove 1, 2, 3, 4. You ask a question, why are they reducted? And that's where the problem is. Fred, all this issue has very little to do with the war. Why? The war is international. What happens is that governments cushion their people. Because COVID came, we had Uhuru Kenyatta step in. There were issues of fuel last time, you remember, because of that Ukraine-Russia war. But I remember he had some subsidies went up to 50 shillings per litre and even more during Uhuru's time. So what we are saying is not something unique. The only problem we have, and Fred is good to say, is that there are people who are taking advantage of the Iran war to now come and tell you because of the Iran war, we must hike the prices. But they are benefiting privately. That is where the problem is. Right. Taxes, but also private benefit in this issue of fuel. That's why in Kenya it's very dangerous. And that's why we are telling the president, please come back to what you said yourself. And by the way, Fred, president cannot run away from what he said when he was a deputy, this issue of what I call dishonesty in politics has to come to an end. Yes. Did you say this? Please, men, you cannot run away from your word. So for us, we are saying why this thing cannot work is a lot of vested interest. Look at the cost of landed, you know, the landed cost of fuel. They say G2G, but the few companies who have been allowed to import, they share profits with some very senior people in government. That is why we have a problem with all this. Okay. Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, they are able to caution their people. So we cannot continue with the same way. And the only language people can understand, Kenyans, please don't get fatigued, because if you get fatigued now, you're going to get finished. So we are waiting for the 7 days. Want to see what to do, and I'm happy. I think we are coming back to this specifically. What can be done?
But this